Hello. Welcome back to Lucid Dream, servicing the higher minds. I know those on Facebook, I said I was not going to do a video this week, and the reason why is the energies are crazy right now, absolutely insane, and it's been a lot for me to handle. It really has. So I was going to put off a video, but I can't do that to you guys. I literally can't do that to you guys, especially when things are vibing this high. You guys got to know what's going on, what to expect, and why you're feeling this way. So I come to you guys with an energy update. And that energy update is simply letting you know that we are spinning out of control right now. Like literally, our earth is vibing high frequencies in which we don't typically see. And let me explain what that means. What that means is like in the heavenly realms, and I call this dimensions of time. Time don't exist. It's the conscious awareness of each group. And so Earth, Purgatory, 3D mindsets are just the dimension in which we live in. However, the dimension of each mind frame it differs from person to person. And so a 3D mindset would mean that you are stuck in the body, that you are stuck in the mind, the physical mind. You're letting situations happen to you and cause you to be a certain way. You think that, you've had a hard life and now this is why you're this way. So when you rise, you're actually rising and elevating in a way that you are now in control. And fourth and fifth dimension, which is a reality, which is a conscious awareness, it's on the earth right now. And by that, Earth is experiencing an expansion as well. And so when we go into these higher realms of consciousness, it just means that as a collective we are growing. And many of us are understanding that in order to coexist with the new frequencies coming in, we have to learn that, we're a lot more than just the body and the mind. And that step leads us into our soul. And our soul is actually operated by our consciousness. And these are our thoughts. And we understand that our thoughts create our reality. And our thoughts create our manifestations of self in our surroundings. And that we are in control. And that we are not going to let the world shape us into being fear-based or scared or feeling like we're unworthy. All these things. A lot of people turn to drugs in 3D. Turn to pseudo-beliefs that shape them into something they're not. So we're out of that, but the thing is the earth is now shedding. The earth is now rising her vibration, and yes, I will call it her. She actually births life to everything. Earth is a she. She's a feminine energy that births, life to trees, grass, everything to us, She is rising. And when she rises, it's like she's shaking off what no longer serves her. She's tired of being abused. She's tired of things destructing her. And in order to stop the destruction, she has to rid of it. And so that's why we're dealing with what we're dealing with. And weather extremities and earthquakes. And, even the ocean will be, experiencing issues. And it's just everywhere. Volcanic eruptions, auras, things that we're not used to seeing. This is all because the earth is changing too. And in this, I have reached out to friends even, but I haven't really spoke a whole lot of words because I am out of words. I am rising. And the problem with that is for me is that, everybody's getting a dose of this high frequency. But when you're talking about somebody like us who's already higher mind, that could pose a lot of problems for us. Just when we thought we were not expanding anymore, here we go expanding. And for me, I'm not going to lie to you guys, in astral travel, the realm jumps. I see many different realms of time in which I've lived. And this is a Christian channel, and I'm not going to hit on this right now. But I can pull this out of the Bible. I literally can, and I have in previous videos. But the heavenly realms are dimensions of time in which are just memories and thoughts. And they are true experiences, because as a man thinketh, so is he. And when I astral travel in the other dimensions of existence, and I don't want to say time, I want to say existence, because it's all now. It just depends on what frequency your mind is going to adjust to in order to have that life, okay? And my problem is that I know that I am expanding to my higher self. I'm expanding to my higher self. And I'm shedding layers and layers, and until we're in heaven, we're not done shedding these layers. And what's happening is like, I know my future self, and it's kind of freaking me out that I'm working my way towards that, because I've already seen it and I've already lived it and experienced it. So that's just my personal journey right now. And that's kind of why I've closed up and not really spoke to a lot of people, not really interested in doing videos, because I'm working on self-growth. And in order to complete my self-growth and be where I need to be, I need to make changes in my life. And as good as it is, there are still changes to be made. You can't just sit stagnant. And, that's going to take some strength within myself. And not only that, I have work to do, passions and desires and things that I know that God's called me to do. And, you can't write a book if you can't concentrate, or if you're too obligated doing other things that definitely you don't want to do anyway. So these are all things that I am personally growing myself on, and I'm sharing personal things with you guys to let you know that, I'm not free of it, and we're always working and we're always shedding. Now, I guess what I'm trying to say is it's freaked me out a few times, because the things that I see falling into place and coming into an alignment has actually been things I've seen in the future that's already happened to me, lives that I've already experienced. When I'm in astral, I just wake up there. I wake up in a different time, and that person's me. And sometimes I realize that I'm sleeping at home in bed, and other times I don't remember this life. And so these are realm jumps for me. And so when I'm seeing it in real life, and I'm seeing things come into, full effect for myself, it's kind of like, oh my goodness, am I doing some kind of realm collision? Am I colliding realms? Am I supposed to go this path just because I've seen it? Or what should I do? And that's just a problem for me as a seer. And I have come to figure this out recently. It took a few days. It really did take a few days for me to really gather my own thoughts. And what I've gathered is, at this high of a mind frame, I have to literally live in the here and now. So as I teach you guys to control your thoughts and control your surroundings, these things I do often. It comes a second nature. And I wanted to let you know that the soul is in control of this realm that I speak of. The soul is actually the one that's operating the thoughts, the conscious thoughts, I'm sorry. So we talked about 3D and the body and the mind, the physical mind. And now I'm talking about 4-dimension and 5th dimension. And in these 2 dimensions, we're talking about thoughts and mental space. We're talking about the soul is a vehicle that gets you there, and it can manifest and conform as a body. It's just a lighter body. So when I tell you guys in previous videos, you can transform and not know you even died, or not even know you shed anything. The best way I can describe that is looking into your past to who you was. You can see the difference in who you was and who you are now and where you came from. Those are literally realm jumps that you don't understand that you realm jump. So, we're always flipping back and forth in time. Now, I'm totally against backtracking, but if you backtrack, it's necessary for growth. It just kind of slows your pace down a little bit. So, I guess what I'm trying to tell you is that, 4th and 5th dimension, or 4th and 5th heavenly realm, doesn't necessarily mean that everything's going to change and you're going to die and you're going to shed this body and you go. Those are dimensions in time that you literally can just coexist in. You just pretty much walk into it. And you look back and you're like, wow, all these lessons I learned, but here I am now. So it's almost like a future self, or your higher self. Now that higher self does not have all the answers, but it is more, it's more high vibrational than you are now. So when the earth is spinning faster and the vibrations are coming in, to this extreme, we have to realize that we are actually rising in consciousness. So in order to get to these realms of reality, you have to rise in consciousness. So I'm going to give you another example. If I was to die today, I would, and if I'm not ready to go to heaven, which I still have learning to do, and I'm going to get to that, but if I was to die right today, most likely I'm going to pick up and continue in a 5th dimensional consciousness, a 5th dimension. And in order to get to 5th dimension, you have to have a 5th dimensional consciousness. A 3D mindset is not going to get you in a 5D world. Okay, so It's all an illusion of time that you're stepping into without knowing that you shed the body. All you're doing is just rising vibrations. Trust me, I realm travel, and I've done it since a kid, and I'm sane. I have sanity. I can make sense of it because I have God, and I have the right pathway through Jesus Christ. And I don't care what Christians say. I'm a Christian. And if this resonates with you, it's because you know it's truth. And this is full truth. And I'm telling you that you don't always see yourself shed the body. You just go. And so that's why I had to gain my own thoughts, because I'm like, wow, I'm seeing things happen, and I don't even know if I want everything I seen. The things I seen is great, but I just got to where I'm at here. Why is everything going so fast? Spinning so fast, and changes are so just frequent. And I think that that's what set me back in my thoughts. Is like, why does the earth have to destruct? Why does man have to do this to us? Because the 3D purgatory is necessary for growth as well. People are there, and souls are being trapped. And if they don't rise, then they're left to experience a realm of reality that they're trapped in. As you see now, they're trapped. As you see all the destruction in the world, they're trapped. And so I don't want to be that person. And so I'm moving forward, but it's sad to see. And I think that Jesus came for everlasting life for a reason, so we don't perish for a reason. I mean, to me, it would be hard for God to have to leave behind people, and it's from our own destruction, and that's what's crazy about it. I want to end this video with letting you know that when you're in a situation like I am, where you're kind of so used to controlling thoughts now and manifesting, and things are just how you want it to be, you're in control. There's still rising to do. And when this new energy wave came and hit me, it's like I know that it rose me some more on top of already being risen. And in that, I realized that I need to live in the here and now. So now that I understand all this controlling and manifesting and being of good, and not letting my outside influences shape who I am, I've also had to learn to live in the here and now, and that's been a struggle for me. And it's came to me, I know God has spoken to me. Now I have to utilize that. I have to practice it. And in heaven, I do know that you live by feeling. You're not constricted to time by thoughts. Let me say that again. You're not constricted to time by thoughts. You're not stuck in the heavenly realms by things that no longer serve you. You've let go of all thoughts and identity of who you once were. And I'm not there yet. I know what I need to do now, and I'm glad God showed me that. But, right now I'm just trying to be the best version of myself, when really I should be stripping identity altogether to get to heaven. And that's deep, and that really threw me off my little wavelength I had going on, because I understand that at 6th dimension, I consider 7 to be heaven. And at 6th dimension, that's exactly what them souls are doing. They're deciding whether they are able to, not miss the ones they left behind. Are they going to come back and teach? Or are they going to go on to heaven to be with the Father? Now, 6th dimension beings can also be negative in polarity, and they cannot get into heaven when they're negative in polarity. They got all the rules, and they understand how to control their reality. They can manipulate and do magic, but they don't get into heaven. So they get sent back to 3D to wreak havoc, and all they can have control on is earth, because they have the knowledge. So this is deep stuff right now, and I think I truly believe within myself, and I don't want to give myself any kind of gratification that I don't deserve, because I'm not stuck in ego whatsoever. But I do believe that I am a 6th dimensional soul that has traveled back in time to teach. And in order to rise myself, I've had to choose the service to others path by teaching and expanding minds. And I've chose that out of my own will and my want. And my passions are teaching, and my passions are writing. And I know it's going to get me places in life. And I'm not doing it for $1. I'm doing it because I enjoy it, and I enjoy helping people. And in that is where I'm growing. And growth is so rapidly fast right now. It's amazing. So with that still being said, I still have some stripping of identity to do, and I have to live in the here and now. And the only way to live in the here and now is by feeling. In order to not let my realms collide and get confused, and I stopped myself from writing my book the other day, because I thought, I can see the future. That's the same as a psychic, and I don't want to do something because I have a vision of it. In the future, I don't even live in Indiana. I'm not ready to move. I'm not going to force myself to go somewhere because a vision says. And it really distracted my thoughts. And I had to literally pray about it and come into my own, place and time. Like I said, don't go to a psychic, and this is why. You still have experiences. You don't want to just listen to somebody, and I am one. And so it's hard for me. It's hard for me to know what I know and not just go for it without the experience attached to it. So to be in the here and now is to actually feel and not think. And if you have any feelings associated with you that is not feeling good, if it's heavy, if it's a weight, if it feels bad, you separate from it. It's not for you. And if it's good, love, then continue your path. And that's what we're supposed to be doing right now. Continuing our path by feeling through love. By doing that, your intuition rises. You get a feeling of self. You actually understand things of a higher mind. You are the higher mind, and God's your guide. Jesus is always, helping you. And I'm about out of minutes, or my memory is full, but I do want to just tell you guys to try to live in the here and now. The feelings guide you, and it determine your destination, and it's hard sometimes, but you got this. All right. I cleared some memory so I could tell you before I go, make sure that you guys understand that during this time, we are going to be having serious ringing of the ears, like tinnitus. We're going to have lack of sleep, melatonin levels change. The higher in realms, the less sleep you need. However, our body's still adjusting. So our bodies are tired, and it's like our bodies are exhausted. And if you're high vibrational, I can almost guarantee you're experiencing these symptoms. I don't know if Earth's going to normalize itself out. I really don't think so. I think that we're on a path of continually rising in vibration. And that's another, I always say this to you guys, but that's another story, and it's another topic, and we will cover that. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, I just feel so tired, but my mind's awake, and I can't even process all my thoughts or anything. That's why I have to do the whole living in here and now and going by feeling and just absorbing and being. That's the best advice I could give anyone right now. And I went on Facebook saying I wasn't going to do a video. That would just be so wrong of me not to. The most time that is needed to do a video is now. And so that's why I'm doing the video. But yeah, so just drink plenty of water. Our body is made up mostly of water. That helps us, rise and balance ourselves out. Eat high vibrational foods. Definitely just stay in tune with yourself. Don't let the world get you off your feet. Another thing I experienced was questioning my own self. Make sure that your choices are judged by feeling and by consulting God through Jesus Christ. These are your answers to your true self and pathway. Man is not going to give you the answers. The final answers always comes from Jesus, and you have to go from within yourself, to find those. I'm just giving you the tools, but you have to do that deep work on your own, and that's necessary. And, true gift to have is the Holy Spirit within you. And discernment is something I've asked for lately, and I've always had it, but here lately I'm like, I have a gift I can see, and I don't know if I should just make moves just based on that. I need discernment, God, and my answer has been clearly live in the here and now, base all on feelings and decisions. Let them feelings guide you to where you're going, but don't go just because you were told or you've seen a vision or that's who you're supposed to be. Because I could go and lose it all. I could do everything I know I'm supposed to do, but I'm not mature enough to hold on to it. And so they're still learning and lessons and growth, and that's what's crazy. At one time it's great that we're growing, but there are some people that are not growing. There are some people that are committing suicide. Crime rates high. They're losing their minds. They can't handle the vibration coming in. You think that we're off our game. At least we have God. Because those that are not, and those that are in our shadows, those are the people that are suffering right now. Everything's amplified for them. It's just their ways of pity is not amplifying, and more pity and grief, and it's sad. It's real sad to see. But we have to just disassociate from that. That's not us, and it's time to move on. So I hear thunder, and another thing I was going to tell you is that weather patterns will change. Higher vibrations, higher frequency, weather changes. it's less likely that we can get accurate forecasts, and if we do, it'll be last second. Like pop-up storms can happen. And yeah, we're just like, where did that tornado come from? Well, that's because it's so instant that the forecast and weather people can't, diagnose it or predict it in time. This chart that I'm going to show you is actually the energy for January 2021. And now if you look at the chart now, this was yesterday at 3 a.m. Or sorry, it was this morning, the 27th at 3 a.m. that I took that chart. You notice that there's no predictions there. It's just a black empty space. First of all, we're way more high vibrational than Earth's used to. And second, there's no predictions. We can predict because we have satellites in space. We can measure things. We have science. And we can predict what's coming. That's how we predict the weather. When you see a graph that's black like that, that means that the future is unpredictable. So if we go back into the last video, that talk with God, my assumption, I'm not saying this because I know. I'm saying my assumption from my talk with God is that here we are now rewriting our own story. It's time for us to recreate, because there's nothing written. It's blank. And I really feel that way. And I could be wrong. It could be a coincidence that the charts are blacked out. But no, I really just feel like I know what I'm talking about when it comes to that, because literally God just told me that not too long ago. And recreating and rewriting our story just means going by feeling, living, doing what we need to do, shedding those things that make us feel a certain way. Don't show up because somebody wants you to. Who cares if you hurt somebody's feelings? Get rid of the people that are bringing stuff that doesn't resonate with you. And ultimately, you're going to find yourself through yourself by reaching up to God. So stay tuned. I know I would like to come on once a week, but with things going the way they are for me, I really need to write. And I really want to get this book produced, and I'm working on some things as far as work-wise goes for myself that will benefit all of us. And I just need to be able to have that mindset to focus on it. So I'm not going to guarantee a weekly video, but I will do my best to be on here as much as I can, just to update. Please stay tuned to this channel. I'm not going to quit doing this. It's just that I need some time to work on some things. I will do my best to come on. I'm just not making no promises. And if you don't see me for a while, don't worry. I will be back. I will check in periodically for sure. And really just stay vibing. Just stay vibing high.